And we're live. We're live. We're live.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
Check-in is back.
The check-in is here. Welcome to the check-in. I am your boy, Heat Detector.
I'm your boy, Jizzo.
And you already know what it is. Jizzle, go ahead and give them that rundown on.
Yo, this is a mental health podcast. We are not therapists. We are not licensed psychologists. None of that. It's just a couple of homies sitting talking about things that affect us, that affect men's mental health, that affect all mental health. And our goal is to come out with solutions and tools on how to deal with that. But do not sue us if you know whatever, man. Like we're giving it to you raw. You're gonna hear some things that you don't want to hear.
Mhm.
So if you
That's my part.
yeah, so you're gonna hear some things you don't want to hear, and if you don't,
Yo, if you dream of bunny rabbits and unicorns, and you wear your emotions on your sleeve, and you're a highly reactive ass person, don't come on this page. You don't have to listen to us. You don't have to do anything. You can go somewhere else and watch some other shit. Go watch Nickelodeon or go watch whatever. But if you do want some resolution, if you do want some understanding, if you want understanding about some things you may be going through, if you do need an ear to listen to whatever you're going through, whatever your problems may be, or if something does strike you on the show, then stay here. Stay the fuck here and listen.
are we on Facebook?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So, but if you don't, then get the fuck out of here. We don't need you over here. What we need is people that understand what we're doing, and we do this every week. We do this every week because it means that much to us, and it means that much to a lot of other people out there too.
Yeah, I called you up a week ago because we had an
Yeah.
instance in the week prior where we thought we had a really good subject and I forgot to screenshot it, send it. And when I came across this topic, what did I do? I called you immediately and I was
Yeah.
like, Heat, you got to hear this. Like, and I was trying to get ready to come actually to the studio, but I was like, you got to hear this now. So this entire show will be dedicated to sobriety and non-sobriety, if that's a word, when we are dealing with artists.
Let's just
and
say addiction.
addiction. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say when dealing with addiction. And I actually spoke to the young lady who made the post that sparked this topic. And she said she was okay with it. She just couldn't make the show today because she's filming. She's a photographer. I'm not going to mention her name. We're not going to
There's
talk.
no need to, because what we're doing is we're talking about addiction, especially within the creative community.
In the creative community. So I actually have the screenshot and I am going to read the screenshot.
Do that shit.
Just bear with me, y'all. Give me 1 second because I film and screenshot a bunch of shit. So I will get to it. So bear with me. It'll probably take about a full minute to read it. She said, one of the most challenging aspects of performing while sober is when I look out into the crowd and notice people not enjoying my music. As an artist, it takes a lot to get on stage and push yourself out there for everyone to see. It genuinely hurts when I feel like I'm giving the best performance possible, but still falling short to my peers. During my time as an alcoholic, I did hundreds of shows, and honestly, I didn't feel much on stage. Looking into the crowd and seeing people not vibe with my music had absolutely zero effect on me, and it was not something that I was worried about. Sobriety has forced me to feel every single thing. I noticed things that I never used to notice, and it makes it 1,000 times harder to shake those nerves and not just say fuck it and grab a drink to eliminate all of the feelings that I have. I'm firm in my sobriety, so I know that drinking is not an option, but I just wanted to remind people who attend shows the importance of showing support to these artists. If their music isn't your cup of tea, that's completely fine, but I will never understand someone who sits there and talks shit while an artist is on stage performing. You have no idea how much it took for them to get up there and put their passion out for the world to judge, and the very least you can do is be a nice human being. So there's so much to unwrap there, dog, that I knew it. It gives me goosebumps talking about it because I knew we had to talk about it because within our camp, we experience performing sober and we have people experiencing performing not sober and
Drunk or high or on
drunk,
whatever.
high, whatever
Yeah.
it is that you do
Whatever your vice is.
prior to getting on stage. So let's just talk about all of it, bro. And I think it's important that you pull your story from your personal story because you have a very deep story that you have and that you're currently on in your journey. And you snapped into my head as soon as I thought about this. I said, "Shit, this is gonna be so great because Heat's gonna be able to give his insight on what he thinks about this, about her performing sober, used to be drunk, she never gave a fuck, and now it's killing her." So, brother, what do you feel about this entire thing?
Well, first of all, shout out to her and her sobriety, or whatever she calls it. I call it clear minded. I don't prescribe to those other names because to me it's being more clear of mind. Um, shit, I feel it. I understand it. I didn't. My my thing was I was always drunk. So even in the studio, I was drunk. Even when I was making music, I was drunk. Um, and back in the day when I used to rap, uh, I would get drunk before a show. I always thought at first, I always thought it enhanced something that I did. It enhanced the music. It enhanced, if I was rapping, it enhanced my flair and everything else. Little did I know I was being a fucking buffoon. Uh, and I didn't care, you know what I mean? But like once I quit drinking, which was my vice, everything changed. First of all, my focus was on a whole nother level. And secondly, so was I. I was, when I say on a different level, I was literally, I don't know how to put it, but other than like, now I'm really on display. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really watching and taking everything in without any mask or any wall of like being wasted or anything. So I'm really taking everything in. I'm noticing everything. I'm noticing heads nodding, heads not nodding. I'm noticing people's reactions. I'm noticing every fucking thing. And with music or anything that a creative person does, it's almost like you're putting your baby out there. It's like you're
Yeah.
putting your child out there for display or something very personal. You know, even making music, the things can get very personal. That's why some songs hold so much more emotion than other songs.
Was part of your sobriety fueled by the fact that you started to see yourself, let's just say, in public, on stage, at a show, whatever, artistically? Did you start to see those signs that you were fucking up on stage? Or
100%. But the thing
so you
is,
knew that from the
nah, but
beginning?
yeah, but that's the thing though. I didn't give a fuck, like this
That's
lady
the other
said.
part of it, because she says it in her
I didn't
post.
give
She
a fuck.
didn't give a fuck.
I mean,
That's
think
why.
about that. Like at Sub T's, I got the mic snatched out of my hands twice. Not in a row, but the next time I went there, I was sloppy ass drunk again, got on stage, was like, wow, saying whatever. They literally just immediately snatched the mic out of my hands.
Yeah.
They showed me mad love afterwards and everything, but immediately, that's twice. And I didn't give a fuck. It wasn't until I got sober
That you
or,
thought
or
about it.
clear in my mind that I thought about it and I went, oh, fuck, Jesus Christ.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to 606
And then-
and the Cypher.
Yeah, and then all that did was just add to the other thoughts is like, okay, well, what else have I done that I may have embarrassed myself or embarrassed my family or embarrassed, whatever, my friends or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Things you just don't know about.
Or things I don't remember. That's happening now
that
too.
you don't
Like,
remember. I spoke to a dude one time. I won't say no names, but I worked on a song with him maybe about 10 years ago. And I remember noticing how he was kind of drunk during our, like, while we were working. And I remember asking him one time, I'll get to that comment right now. Let me finish this story. But I just wanted to say that, I noticed he was drunk and I asked him, our song was kind of like, it sounded like a diss to Chicago, but it wasn't. It was just saying we were tired of the shit in Chicago. And I said to him, "Hey, bro, do you have beef with people currently? Like, who do you have beef with? Because I'm working with this guy." And he said, "To be honest, Jizzle," he said, "I don't know." He said, "I spent so many years drunk in the streets that I don't remember what I did to people. And I walk around constantly thinking, is today the day that I did something to somebody and they see me at the store?" And so let's get to the comments.
real quick, I say to motherfuckers now that I may have met before, they say, I've already met you and shit like that. That part of all of my shit is that I always say to them, let me reintroduce myself because that motherfucker was not me.
That's big, man. Lyrical Master is in the comments. He's watching from YouTube. So shout out to you for watching from YouTube, because that's where we want everybody. He said, "I had mental breakdowns this week, and a friend of mine tried to break me further rather than lift me up. I feel with mental health, it seems we have to let certain people go for our well-being." And I think that you're right. And a lot of times in life, brother, we have we go through situations where people have to separate themselves from us if we've been in that situation. And one story that I've told before is how I was in the streets, and you probably couldn't think that I'd be in the streets, but I was in the streets gang banging, and I had a best friend. It was this girl, rest in peace to Timey. And I saw her after a few years of not seeing her at the grocery store, and she walked past me and acted like we didn't know each other. And years later, we became friends again, best friends until the day that she died. And I asked her later in life, why did you do that? And she said, I did that because I was in a different place in my life, and I couldn't allow you to come into my life with what I thought you had, which was the gang banging and all
Right.
the bullshit. And she made that move for her own sanity, for her
Yeah,
own
well,
life.
you got to. That's like literally what I've done. Is like I've literally erased people like out of my bubble. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with letting go of people. You can love a motherfucker from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Because if I feel like with me right now, if you're not working on being better and you're not working on yourself, I can't be around you. I just can't, because I don't have that kind of energy anymore, and I don't have the space in my head to deal with that kind of shit from a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because it's one thing. Yeah. It's one thing to take in somebody's having a bad day, right? They come to you and they're like, "Man, shit's fucked up," and you talk to them about it. That's one thing. But it's another thing to have somebody that just has this fucked up ass energy, and all they want to do is get fucked up, and all they want to do is sit around and talk about jail or whatever in the fucking case may be.
That bullshit.
Yeah,
I want to commend you, bro.
What's up?
I want to commend you because I think that like in the realm of being sober, or and then we're gonna get a little personal, but I think in the realm of being sober, part of the thing is like removing those things from like your circle. And I think that you personally, and not everybody's like this, but I think you personally are so strong that you're still able to be around us as we're, having drinks. And I'll say that publicly, like I have a beer on the table right now. I'll take it off, but like we drink on the show, and we drink in front of you, and you're strong enough to be like, it doesn't.
Let me ask you something.
It doesn't affect me at all.
Let me ask you something. What makes you think it should affect me? That's the bigger question.
Because
for you.
There's certain people that deal with weaknesses.
No, I didn't ask about certain people. I'm asking you. What makes you think it should affect me?
Because I have not been around you for the entirety of your life, and I don't know how weak or not weak something might make you.
Nothing can make me anything but me.
And when you've told me that you're cool with us drinking in front of you, we've continued to drink in front of you.
You guys,
but I know that you're strong enough for it not to mean shit.
Strength has shit to do with it. Let me tell you something, bro.
Why not? Why does strength?
I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to explain it to you. No one can make me do anything, because if I want to drink right now, there's not a motherfucker in this house that's going to stop me.
But putting it in your face is
no. It doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't have to be in my face.
But you're talking about yourself. We're talking about the masses.
Okay, but I'm trying to explain something to you because you said something about me. Okay, because it doesn't matter if it's in my face. The liquor store ain't in my face. It's down the street. It ain't shit for me to get in the car and go get it.
I also said that I know that you're strong
with or without
as fuck.
you.
That's
with,
why.
Without you, anybody here.
You could easily go get a fucking Parmesan bottle.
There's beers in the refrigerator upstairs all the fucking time.
That's what I'm saying, though. You are a stronger being, and you just accept it, bro. I'm telling you, you know, and you know it. I just feel like God bless your situation because you're able to be strong like that. You're just built that way, dog. Everybody,
I appreciate
we talk about the masses here. We're talking about everybody. People on this fucking
But let me
video,
tell you, it's not about
some people it is.
Okay, well, I'm going to explain it. I want everybody, if you're watching, to listen to what I'm about to say, because I think for drinking or for anything, it's the most important part. And that's what I found out for me. And that is quitting the drinking is the easy fucking part. The real shit happens when you quit, because now you have to deal with everything you've been fucking hiding, everything you've been stuffing down, everything that you haven't been talking about, everything that's ever hurt you, every piece of trauma you've ever been through, every fucking trigger that's ever happened, every fucking embarrassing moment, everything. And it doesn't just come up like easy. It hits like a ton of bricks. You should know, because you know, I had early on in this shit, I had a full on meltdown. Like, I really thought I was going to off myself because it just wouldn't fucking stop. It just, like, it was so fucked up. And I still have days like that. But I've learned throughout doing all of these things, and I've learned throughout even the show to take this shit not, I wouldn't necessarily say step by step or day by day or whatever in the fuck, but I just deal with what I can deal with.
What do other people do in those situations? Because I know we're talking about you and you're speaking from your personal experience.
Right.
Let's talk about other people that might be watching this show. And shout out to everybody that's commenting. Lyrical Master, shout out to you, still in the building. He said, "Yeah, there's no masking everything anymore. Quitting drinking, I'm still figuring out myself after years still, and that's a testament to
shout out to you, Lyrical Master.
Lyrical Master, I want to ask you something. If I hope that you're still listening and you comment on this, we'll be watching out for it. Do you feel and you know this isn't at you, brother, before we get into it, but I want to know about Lyrical Master. Lyrical Master, do you feel that you are a recovering alcoholic? And the reason I ask is because I see a spectrum of different replies to this answer. If y'all watch the show, y'all have seen
I have a very firm stance on that shit.
Very firm stance on it, and we know that. And there's multiple stances on it. So I kind of just want to dig into it a little bit. We're gonna get into the artistry about this because that's what this shit is. This topic's really about being sober or not sober and still being an artist. So Lyrical Master, if you can comment on that, do you consider yourself a recovering alcoholic, or what do you consider yourself? It could be whatever stage you're at. I think that for me, bro, when I'm on stage, every time I'm drinking, I'm not gonna say that I'm 10 shots in, but I'll have a beer. I'll have maybe 2 beers, a Monaco, something, whatever I'm drinking that night before getting to the bar. So I don't know what that's like, bro, being sober and getting on the stage sober and looking at everyone sober and shit, seeing the faces people make, because it doesn't fucking matter, bro. You could be living your best life. You could be Jules rocking the fucking stage, knowing that you're doing your thing. And there's still going to be someone out there that's still going to look at you funny. They're going to giggle. They're going to lean over to the person over and say some shit. Like, you need to realize that you are the shit and what you do is what you do. Lyrical Master replied, he said, only because I have control, but I used to be an alcoholic after a divorce for a few years. So yeah, so we've heard that reply here. Does not consider himself an alcoholic, but he used to be an alcoholic. With Lyrical Master, do you agree? That's exactly your answer on this topic, right?
Yeah, I'm of clear mind. I'm not in recovery.
It's just something in the past that did happen.
It's something that happened. It's just like you ate dinner. Dinner's over with.
It's something that happened.
I mean, like to me,
but not that quick, because you still have to deal with all the repercussions of that fucking dinner.
It's not repercussions that I'm dealing with. It's not repercussions.
Effects of your actions.
But it's the effects of my actions. That's why I said before, a lot of times when I go and I see people that I haven't seen in a long ass time when I was drinking and shit, they only know me as that. So I say, allow me to reintroduce myself, because I'm not that person any longer. But when it comes to drinking, like when I said I was done, I was done. And it didn't have anything to do with the alcohol. After that, it wasn't the repercussions of the alcohol and everything. It was what I deal with is the shit that got me drinking from the beginning. The things that happened to me from the beginning, the mental state, the mental health or lack thereof that I had that kept me drinking, because I didn't want to deal with all of those different issues and things that I had. You know what I'm saying? I still have trouble with that shit, but I take those things on day by day. What do you mean?
Just for anybody's watching, can you explain the trouble that you have? It might be the troubles somebody else's.
Troubles. Well, it could be anything. I mean, mine obviously are going to be different because it's individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for per individual, because one man's trash is another man's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to walk up 15 miles in my shoes, and I might not be able to take 2 steps in yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. So I don't know what I could say to anybody else. I only know what my shit is. And my shit is a lot from my childhood. I grew up with a propensity for violence. I grew up with a lot of fucked up shit that affected me horribly in my teenage years, in my fucking a young adult life, and in my adult life.
Let's real quick before we skipped them once we got to Lyrical Master, but shout out to E Johnson, brother of our show,
Yes,
man,
sir.
brother of all the shows. He said, what up," like he always says, man. Shout out to you if you're still watching. Lyrical Master, real quick, back to you, bro. If you're still watching, have you experienced performing? Because your name's Lyrical Master. I'm assuming you're an MC. Have you dealt or experienced with either being sober and then having being on stage like you were drunk and then you got sober, or being sober and then got drunk on stage? What's your experience on that? He commented and he said, pushing yourself to keep going with drink. I'll read it up there. Pushing yourself to keep going with drink, and after stopping, it's like, whoa, I have these whole new emotions that are manifesting that I've never felt before.
Yeah, well, a lot of shit is that with that is what I just said. These are things
Yeah.
that you've been masking. These are things that you've been pushing down. These are things that have been festering inside your mind for fucking
Yeah.
years and years and years. For me, considering my age, I literally drank all my life. I literally started drinking when I first got drunk when I was 13. So that was a long fucking time ago, and I got a birthday coming up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be 57.
Shout out to the Aries, man.
Yeah.
April 11th.
April 11th. Yeah, I'll be 57, my G. And so since I was 13, I've been drinking. I mean, I was getting fucked up every fucking time. Especially at that age, I was getting drunk anytime I got a chance. It helped me to deal with a lot of stresses and a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I have performed with and without. Well, let us know how that worked out for you. Let us know how it worked out when you were fucked up.
Lyrical
and when you
Master.
were, I'm getting to I just read it. Let us know how that worked out when you were drinking and when you did it when you weren't drinking. So we can also kind of like look at the comparison, because I can say the comparison also too with me making music is way different than it was when I was drinking. When I was drinking, I really didn't give a fuck. I half-ass did everything, and I didn't give a fuck. Now when I make music, I do give a fuck, and I give a fuck. I think more so now what people think, but I internalize it, because that's another thing. Again, it's like we're putting our babies out there. You know what I mean? I'm more aware of what I'm doing now, so it does affect me at times, but I don't outwardly show it. I just inwardly fucking take it, and I go, okay, well, I'll make some changes, or I'll do some this, or do some more studying. You're never too old to learn, so I do some more studying and do some more shit and go back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like kind of all you can do a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you said that you perform with drinking all the time, right? And it doesn't bother you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. So I can't speak on this actually. So, and it wasn't nothing heavy, but I was smoking weed in the beginning of being an artist. I would smoke a whole bunch of weed before going to the show. You know, like anybody does. Y'all in the car with the homies, everybody's smoking, and I'd get super high, and I would go to shows and forget my lyrics to my own fucking songs. I just write on stage, forget the lyrics, and and I said to myself, I'm not gonna go to shows anymore. It happened to me twice, and I freestyled out of it, but whatever. Like, and I said I'm never doing that again. And so after that, when I did performances, I was not high. Now that I'm in the age that I'm at now, I'm a little bit, I'll say, more seasoned, so I can handle drinking a beer and smoking a little bit before a performance. But generally, no, I try not to get fucked up because I don't want to be there. I need to control, like in her post. I need to control those emotions when I'm there. And if I'm fucked up, I can't control it and I start freaking out. So I need to control that.
Have you ever found? Have you ever? Because you're more on the performance side. I quit doing that shit years ago. But as she said in her post, now that she had quit drinking or using whatever substance she was using, that it affected her when she saw people not moving or ignoring her performance or whatever, and it really fucked with her head. Have you found that to be the case with you? And at any time that like you're doing some shit and there's one person that's not paying attention or showing any interest whatsoever, did it break your soul? Did it fuck you up? Did it do anything to you?
I developed a chemical in my body called I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
And no, seriously, I'm not joking. Like I just don't care no more, bro. Like if that's always been the case. Like I said, I might have said it on the show, but we spoke about it off camera. You will never make anyone happy, bro. I don't give a fuck. You could have Julius type energy. You can have these type of bars. You can have this kind of style. You could be the freshest motherfucker, and it's somebody's gonna be out there ha ha haing and telling their whoever they're with whatever the fuck they're saying. I really don't care no more because I've gotten to this stage where like I know who I am. Like I'm not fucking Jay-Z or Nas, but I know what I can do, and I know when I get on stage, I'm doing my shit. I don't worry about that shit no more. I personally don't worry about it, but I haven't been through that struggle of being drunk a lot and dealing with alcoholism and then being sober and getting on the stage. I can't say that I'm at the point where this post is at. So I'm just
Right.
speaking from, my opinion about like the weed and stopping that. But what I can say like as a positivity part is, yeah, man, if y'all going through that, we'll get to Lyrical Master's comment right now. He's actually dropped a few comments, but we'll get to it right now. But yeah, I actually just don't give a fuck no more. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna dress how I dress. I'm gonna look how I look. There's literally nothing that you can say to me to fucking convince me otherwise. And I care about a handful of people's opinions, and I talk to those people every single day on the phone, and I don't give a fuck. So, maybe that's a solution for y'all. Just don't give a fuck. Do you? We ask a lot of people on the Shy City Cypher podcast, what are they thinking about other MCs when they are writing bars, getting ready to perform for Shy City Cypher? And a lot of those people say, I don't give a fuck. I wasn't worried about no MCs. I don't care who was going to be there. I did my thing. And that's that kind of energy that I'm talking about, that I don't give a shit. Do your thing, write your bars, dress how you dress, wear what you wear the pink, wear the purple.
But
Bro, no one gives a fuck.
But that's
you.
we're now if we get into that, the whole thing about what this lady was talking about, we're talking about something a little bit deeper seated than just not giving a fuck and being on stage and not giving a fuck what
But
you're doing.
I think it maybe affects all of it because she didn't speak about it in the post, but I'm sure that it crossed her mind. Did she look stupid on stage? Was she dressed stupid on stage? Did she sound
while she's sober? I doubt that's what went
yes,
through her
because
mind.
that's what's affecting her is the thing. She don't know what people are saying about her. She doesn't know what they're saying.
Insecurity.
Insecurities, yes, all kind. That's what
Which
I meant.
stem
I
from
meant
other
all
shit.
insecurities. It stems from being sober. Now you're on stage. People are talking, and you don't know if it's because
the alcohol. Without the alcohol, now you're revealed.
Yes, Lyrical Master said, shit. Can we get his previous comment? I know we skipped one. Can we get the one right before that one?
He said, without a clear one, you can slur or be embarrassed. It can be embarrassing after we see or hear it. After hear it, especially on a Facebook Live. It's always better to be in your senses.
What's the next comment?
Then he said, but sometimes there's a sweet spot with alcohol. It can turn into I can turn into Superman, but it's a very small sweet spot gap, so I wouldn't recommend it.
100%.
It can get messy.
We all have that moment in our life, and all of us here have drank where you're just about 1 or 2 beers in and you feel fucking great. You're conversating great, you're rapping great, you're doing everything great. But yeah, for most of us, including myself, I don't know where that threshold is at. I don't know how to control the threshold. If we're drinking, not like today. Today, I know how to control my threshold. I know we work, we're on shows, but other people, they don't have the fucking threshold. And
you know what they call that, man? They call that a functioning.
Irresponsibly?
No, well, I mean, like if you're able to drink and still do your job, they call excuse me, they call that a functioning alcoholic. Well, within like AA or whatever, they
functioning drug addict. Yeah,
functioning drug addict, functioning alcoholic. There's people that do drugs every day, like, and I'm not talking about weed, but like do heavy drugs, like you know what I'm saying, opiates and shit, and they still go to work.
Yeah.
My stepfather, rest in peace, was an engineer. And he would drink a fifth of Black Velvet every day at work. He kept that shit in the thermos and would be fucked up by the time he came home. But he worked for General Electric, and it never seemed to fuck his job. He never got fired or no shit like that. He did his job and was like a fucking employee of the month every fucking month.
Because I think back then,
functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, because men masked it back then. There was a big masking going on where, like, yeah, you went to work, you did your shit, you got super fucking drunk the night before, woke up, threw up, and this is per one of my supervisors that was a heavy alcoholic that I worked with. He said he would get up in the morning, throw up, and wipe his face, brush his teeth, and go to work.
I worked in an office, bro, and I would get fucked up as soon as I got off work, get fucked up all goddamn night long. This is all recent, and before COVID, get fucked up all night long, stay up till 3, 4 in the morning, go to sleep for 2 hours, wake up, still be fucking kind of drunk, and go the fuck to work. Like I get showered, dressed, brush my teeth, and go to fucking work, and be fucked up at work when I got there. And I worked in a corporate office, and as soon as it was time to go home, 5 o'clock, I hit the fucking on my commute home, hit the fucking 7-Eleven, get a fucking pint, put it in a Gatorade bottle, and drink that shit on the way home, and be fucked up by the time I got home. And then drank some more when I got home.
Yeah, that was me. As soon as you get out of work, hit that bottle, hit whatever it is you was getting on, and get fucked up.
That's crazy, and as I think a lot of times as artists, we struggle anyways. As an artist, if you're a real creative person, we struggle with a lot of internal shit anyways, and that's part of our creative process. So we're already struggling. What do they say about being a creative person or an artist? They say the more struggle and strife and the more pain you've had in your life, the better artist you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, artists go through that moment, and there's all artists here in the building right now that are in the studio, and artists also say that they go through this moment and it mostly happens on stage where the euphoria and the adrenaline is at 100%, 110%. But then after the stage, and this goes for comedians and I think all performers, after the stage, you have to deal with that low. It's like we live this life and we live it for these like small moments of highs. Even here at the studio, we're here all fucking week sometimes. We talk, we see each other all week, but our high moments are here, are the shows before this, the Saturday shows, the Friday shows. But afterwards, we have to address life in not these high moments. And it's hard for a lot of people. They get depressed, they get sad because you just can't be, you're not always happy.
First of all, addressing life, period, is tough for any motherfucking body, artist or non-artist. It's life don't wait for nobody. Life don't give a fuck about nobody. So all of these things are tough for just anybody. So even people out there that are listening right now that are not artists, this shit should still hit home to you. You know what I'm saying? Life be lifing.
Living life sober. It could also doesn't have to pertain to artists. It could be just having to deal with living your life sober if you're not an artist. That's good, man. It's good that you brought that up because we like to reach all areas of this topic in the conversation. That's why a lot of times our topics will break off into subtopics where we're discussing things under, but we always try to come back to the main thing. I know it's early in the show, but let's talk about, we've talked about so many of the effects. Can we try to talk about some of the tools? Because we say that that's what this show is for. Not we say, we do it. But that's what this show is for tools and learning how to deal with these things. What does someone do, man? I don't know. There's artists out there that just got sober fucking April 1st, 6 days ago. They're trying to figure out like how they're going to perform, what they're going to do. What are the tools that we can give these people, man, to say like, all right, try this, bro, when you go to stage. I'll say this.
I'll say this. One thing that I've learned in this journey that I'm on, because once you quit doing all this stuff, especially if it was such a big part of your life, is to be easy on yourself, because this shit can get real fucking tough, especially when you've been hiding and masking all of these different emotions and feelings for so fucking long. You got to be easy on yourself. That's the hardest part, I think. And once you begin to learn to be easy on yourself, things become a little bit easier to deal with, to cope with. You know what I'm saying? Because especially artists, we're our own worst critics. You know, be easy on yourself, because the road gets tougher and tougher and tougher. It doesn't get easier. And as LaShawn says all the time, you're constantly under construction. So knowing that, you should be easy on yourself and trust your fucking instinct. Trust your instinct. You need to trust your instinct. Lyrical Master says, oh my God, yeah, my overwhelmed and procrastination is so bad after stopping drinking. Yeah, Motivation is key. Motivate yourself. Get
He
the
said,
fuck up off your ass.
I never had these problems before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is man, look, bro, I swear to God, like we talk about like the universe and we talk about things like that, about how like even you and me had a conversation today about the DJ that you knew from somewhere that I was like that I mentioned to you. And I think all these things come full circle. And us having Lyrical Master on the show today, shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, shout out
we
to
have
Lyrical
different
Master.
people that tune in on different shows, and believe it or not, it's always somebody that is being affected by this current issue that we're talking about,
especially on the check-in.
Especially on the always on the check-in. It's that's what I meant. And here we are having this conversation, and Lyrical Master is in here literally saying, it's overwhelming. I never had these problems before.
I say that to you all the time, bro. Like, there'll be sometimes we come up with a topic for the show, and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. That seems so morbid. There we go again with this shit. And I always say somebody out there needs to hear this. And what happens when we do it?
I say
somebody pops up. I'm just saying, somebody pops in and goes, God damn it, I needed to hear this. Or, God damn, this really hit home.
I say that when we revisit stuff, because I feel like there's so many. Hold on, I feel like there's so many areas that we still need to cover. That if we go back,
all of it is
it's
relevant.
redundant.
No,
that's
it's not.
Why,
no, it's not. No, it's not. Then mental health should be redundant. Then if you make that statement,
no, not at all.
Okay, so all of it is relevant. All of it is relevant, sir.
It's all helped. It's all helped all of us.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying about helping all of us. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it is. If we talk about grief, it's relevant. If we talk about it, and it's relevant to other things, so it doesn't matter the topic. It doesn't matter if we double back on something, because it's all relevant. It all is relevant. Mental health is it's encompasses so much shit and so many different things, that one thing, like when we talk about childhood trauma, we end up talking about trauma, period. We end up talking about other things. We end up talking about trauma from fucking grieving, from death. So there is no such thing as it like being, oh, well, we're fucking, we did that already. There is no doing it already, because the conversation is going to bleed and do what it's doing and do what it's supposed to do. Just like us talking about, we started off with the artist, and then we get into other things, and then Lyrical Master comes in and says his things about drinking and whatever. So it's all encompassing, bro. It's all encompassing no matter what. That was my point. I wasn't necessarily pointing at you and saying, yo, you do this and do that. I'm saying that it doesn't matter the topic of the show, that somebody needs to hear it. It doesn't matter the topic of the show.
We always talk about something important, even if we do revisit situations which we have in the past.
We're going to probably continue to do that.
Yeah, and as long as I think whoever it is that we have this conversation, somebody is affected or someone can comment or relate to it, it's all good with me, bro. Because in the end, like I said, whether it's one, maybe it's cliche, whether it's one or whether it's 3, 4, 5, I feel like we did our job.
It don't matter about this. This is the whole thing about the show. The shit don't matter about me and you.
It does matter.
Not about me and you. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't matter about me and you. So it doesn't matter if you feel great if somebody watched it, or if I feel. I mean, I feel great when somebody does, but it's not a matter of like, oh, okay, well, we're only going to do this if it affects somebody.
No, not if. The purpose of that statement that you're taking and turning into something else is the purpose of that statement is to say that even if it's just one person out of 5,000 that was watching that got affected and learned something from a show, that's enough. That's perfect.
Word.
Like, we're happy with that.
Yeah, all day, all day. But shout out to Lyrical Master.
What if somebody? All right, bro. Let's talk about the negative a little bit. What if somebody is going through this, is feeling just like this post that we read, and does go and drink? They do go and have some beers. Are they fucking chopped liver? Are they still helpable? Is everything can change? Like, what do you? Because there's people watching that might be. You never know. Somebody fucking just started drinking today again.
Man, look, I was. I ain't gonna say no names, but I was with a motherfucker, and they were supposedly had quit drinking, and they're struggling with the shit. And when I was around them, I didn't even know they were drinking. I thought they were sober as fuck and everything. And then right before I left the crib, they were like, oh yeah, man, I've been drinking, man. I'm kind of fucked up right now. And you want a beer or something, bro? And I was like, no. But I was like bugging out, because I was like, damn, I talk to this motherfucker all the time. And he's always like, man, it feels good being sober. But the whole time, because after I see that he's drinking the whole time, and he says, "Yeah, I've been fucking up. I've been doing this every day." Like, what the fuck? Why? Yeah, that's like lying to yourself, and it doesn't affect me. It's sad to see that happening. I don't even know if it's sad is the right word, because I have empathy for the man, and I pray that he gets his shit together. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just like earlier, man, this shit ain't on me. I got to deal with me, and that's not being selfish. I got to deal with me. I got to deal with the repercussions of my own actions and my own thoughts and my own shit, and before I can even deal with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with when you're dealing with that alone, that's enough already. Shit, I don't need to be taking in somebody else's shit. Hence, keeping people out of your bubble, the people that aren't good for your mental state or for your well-being, either that be emotionally, mentally, or whatever. But that doesn't mean I just keep people out of my fucking circle and shit like that. I'm just very much aware and in tune with the motherfucker's vibration. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not in tune with their vibration, that means I'm not in tune with me. And it's important that I'm in tune with myself before I can deal with somebody else. If somebody else drinks, bro, and they're going through it, I wish them all the power and strength in the world to stop doing it. It doesn't have to be drinking. Fuck, it could be heroin, it could be coke, it could be whatever the fuck their vice is. You know what I'm saying? I wish them all the power in the fucking world to stop, man. My mother was a drug addict, man, for many years. She shot heroin for many, many, many years, and I seen what all of that shit can do to a person and to a family. So I wouldn't want to wish that shit on nobody. But on that same note, man, we say this, and we said this on the show before, man. Like, I can only be, and I've said it. Let me clarify that. I can only be in charge of me. And that shit's hard enough. You know what I'm saying? That shit's hard enough.
So to your story that you just told about that situation, I also think that there's people, and again, we're always talking for the public. I'm not because it's me, but I think that there's people that deal with situations like that, and from that guy's perspective, sometimes they're so hurt that they want somebody, as fucked up and selfish as that is, they want somebody to take in their same shit. They want to drink with someone. They want to pull somebody back.
Misery loves company.
I got an uncle that drinks, and he fucking gets my cousin a drink, and they live across the street from each other, and they hang out at the bar, and he's constantly saying, come get a drink. And yeah, man, people don't want to bask in their misery by themselves. And, you know, shout out to dude, man. I'm not saying that he's miserable, but I'm just saying, you know, that dude fucking decided that he was going to ask you or tell you, you know, I am drinking, it's cool, or what, you know, there's more to the story, but, you know, he kind of tried to get you to drink a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll just tell the rest of that story. He tried to get you to drink a little bit. And it's like, you know, I know you're suffering. I know you're in pain, man, and going through your shit, but you can't drag other people into it. A lyrical master said, yeah, it's a lot to deal with when you're going through a lot by yourself. You need space, energy for that. And I have fatigue easily with mental health, so I make myself less available to needy friends. And
that's fucking amazing what he just said.
Yeah, because he's deciding his track in life.
Well, not just that, but emotions are taxing on the mind and on the body. You can literally become fatigued from going through and even listening to somebody, or even dealing with that shit. If somebody's going through some shit, or they're giving you their shit.
When you in your life and in all your relationships, and maybe it wasn't at the beginning, but towards the end, after you were fucking sick of it, that's real shit, bro. Like, my body has been fucking drained. If I'm arguing with my girl, whoever I've been with, dude, I am fucking dry. I don't have it in me. I don't want to do shit. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. I want to go to sleep at 9 o'clock. I'm dead. Like, it's draining, bro. And imagine years of that. Imagine years of that. It's so draining on your life. And that's why at some point you have to make a decision. If you're going to be happy, you decide that you're going to be happy, and you fucking do that. Whatever it is, in whatever realm, it might fuck up someone else's situation. It might make someone else upset.
You might even fuck up your own situation.
But do what you got to do to be happy, because as we all know, life is too fucking short, and we could be right here talking about this shit right now, and you could be dead tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Let's not say dead. Let's just say gone.
You could be gone tomorrow at 3 p.m. Live your life, man, and be happy. I stress that to all my friends and people that I talk to, especially now in the situations I've been in where I've said, all right, I'm done, bro. I can't be out here tripping and getting more gray hairs in my fucking beard and in my hair and all that. Like, dude, I'm done. I'm done. You're not controlling my energy. You're not controlling shit. And that goes back to the topic, the performance, the all that. You are not letting them control your energy no more. You know you're the shit. And my comment, I'll go back to my comment real quick, because I feel it's important. This is what I commented to this person um that wrote this. And I said that feeling used to bother me until I realized that people walk out of the theater after watching $100 million budget movie and say that was trash. You can never make everyone happy. I dealt a lot with it in the beginning of Shy City Cypher. I had to read all the nasty comments, people's opinions of how it should be and what I was lacking. I had to read that shit in real time and it was tough, but I just mentally talked myself out of it. I said that I smile now and walk up to people in the club and introduce myself, whether they were looking at me or not. And I ended it with telling her, "You've done the work and you know it. Now live life out, enjoying your fruits."
Yeah, fruits of your labor, man.
The fruits of your labor. We all got fruits of our labor.
Yeah.
Y'all see our fruits right now, and y'all got y'all fruits in y'all life and everything you're doing. Just live that out, man. It's too. What are you gonna do, man? You're gonna be fucking mad. You're gonna be mad forever. Like, just you gotta let things go.
Oh well, shit. And just because a motherfucker quits whatever their addiction in doesn't mean they're not going to be mad still. You know, being mad is probably what got them to part of their addiction.
They might be more mad.
It might be even more. Hey, man.
Because you said you got to deal with
Yeah,
all the,
this
what'd you
shit.
say? All the shit
Man.
you did while you were drunk, you got to deal
You
with all
got
that.
to deal with it. And look, man, when I had that breakdown the next day, I was pissed. I was still going through it. I had to call a crisis line and everything. I was still going through it, but I was mad as fuck. And you know what the crazy thing is, bro? Is I was mad at me. I was mad. I was furious at myself. And that is dangerous. Not because I'm a dangerous person, because that's just dangerous, period. Because that could land you doing all kinds of dumbass shit. That could land you a person going back to an addiction. That can land you putting yourself in precarious situations. It could do a lot, and
it could bring your moral and your value down. I swear to God, I just had this conversation with one of my buddies, Greedy Knowledge, and I'll be transparent. In 2020, I fell asleep on the expressway after drinking all night at one of his friend's house at a party, and I drank all night and I fell asleep on the road going like 85 miles an hour. I stayed straight on the road and eventually the car slowed down, but it did hit the wall and I scraped up my mirror, my wheel well and all that. And I was telling him and he said, "Man, I'm surprised you said that because I knew that happened to you, but I didn't know how you felt after it." And I was so depressed after it, bro. For like 6 months, I couldn't fucking stand myself. I was like, how could I do that? How could I get in the car? How could I fall asleep?
What did you do? What did you do to stop those thoughts? What did you do to get your I ain't gonna say get yourself better, but what did you do to stop those thoughts and to get out of that slump from that mistake and from that thing that happened?
I think one, it took time. It took time for me to like simmer on that shit. And you know, it took me 6 months. It might take other people 3 months or a week, but I sat and like simmered on that and thought about like what I did. And I ain't gonna lie, like the positives in my life is what helped me get out. So also around that time, I joined like another a production team. I was, you know, Shy City Cypher was going strong. So I just kind of distracted myself with the better things in life that I was doing and
Hence
focused
surrounding yourself with better things, better
Yeah,
people,
with better-
getting
with
rid of
better
other shit.
Yeah, and those people
outside
were brothers
influences
to
and
me, and
things.
they told me like, You're fucking up, like, you know, you're fucking up." And I'm not close to fucking to constructive criticism, nothing. If you're my homie, you can come tell me whatever. I will listen to that shit. And I think my homies were just like, "Yeah, you're fucking up. You shouldn't be falling asleep on the expressway. That's crazy. You should have not drove. You should have not did none of that." And it's no one's fault but mine. Yeah, there was people in the house that probably could have told me not drive, but it's none of their faults. It's me. I decided to drink that much, keep the keys in my pocket, and turn that fucking truck on and drive on the expressway. So I think the way to power through it after the depression for me was just to focus on the positives and just be like, man, I'm you know, it might be pretentious, but I'm that dude. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I fucked up, but I can do better, and I did better. And I've still had my moments where I'll drink and drive. I mean, I'm drinking right now. I'm having a few drinks, but allegedly, but you know, I know when like I don't ever take myself there to that party in 2020 again. I never go there. I know, you know, I've been there a few times. I've been there here at the studio when once the cameras go off. I've been here like that, but you know, it's on my mind always, and I try to strive for better. I'm not perfect, like I said. I'll still have a drink and drive once in a while, one or two allegedly, but yeah, you know, I make sure to not do no stupid ass shit. I try my best to not do no stupid ass. I'm like at 95%, you know?
Yeah.
I try my best.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. You know, I mean, like nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like I said, when in the beginning of the show, when you asked me, like, you know, not how do I do it? You said, you know, you commend me for being strong while everybody's drinking and everything. And the shit, like, it just doesn't affect me that way because in my mind, bro, I got way more shit to deal with in my mind than I do to be even considering or thinking about drinking. It's not even on my mind like that. I'm thinking, when I see you guys drink or see other people drink, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm in the moment. That's the other thing, being in the moment. And I think that's important. Be in the moment. Stay out of your head. Be in the moment. Mm-hmm. It's important that if I had to say to anybody what I've learned within this last year or so, is being in the moment. Stay in the moment because that's what's going to keep you clear. Stay in the moment. Like the woman who this whole show was kind of built and based around. If you're just in that moment of being on stage, you're not going to care. Be in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Be in the moment of being happy. I love it when everybody is here in the studio and we're doing our thing and I stay in that moment.
You're experiencing it in a different way that I could also see in my mind being like a cooler, like funner way, because you know, like you're seeing us party, you're experiencing shit like different as well, like and you know.
Well, here's some wild shit. You were here on my birthday last year.
Yeah,
that's the first birthday that I can remember sober outside of being a child, and that was weird. That was funny as hell to watch because everybody was drinking and shit and smoking and everything. And I was just sitting there and I thought, God damn, this is my first birthday fucking not drinking and not being completely fucked up. And it was dope, though. It was dope.
Is it ever too late?
For what?
Whatever, dog.
No.
People watching, is it ever fucking too late?
I'll be 57 tomorrow, and I've been clear-minded for I want to say almost a year and a half.
I wanted you to say that. That's why I asked you that. Because there's people out there that might feel like, man, I'm already this age. I've been doing this my whole life. It's never fucking too late.
It's too late.
I got a bar that says it's never too late. You can always come back. But it was talking about religion and about straying away and coming back.
Same difference. Yeah, it's never too late. You just have to make the choice. You have to make the choice. You know, life is full of choices. Life is nothing but a fucking choice once you're born. And once you really start to understand shit as a young adult or as a child, man, you make choices every day. You can make the right choice. You can make the bad choice. You know, it's up to you. And it's up to you to discern which one of them is fucking bad and which one of them is fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Because what's good for the geese is not always good for the gander, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard that saying before? In other words,
no.
What's good for you may not be good for me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, for some people, having a couple of drinks, you know, and socially drinking and everything is cool for them. It ain't cool for me because I know me. I have an addictive personality like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that if I pick up something and drink it, I'm going all in. I ain't fucking playing. I drink to get fucked up. I don't drink to socialize. I drink to get fucked all the way up. So I know that for me, going out and like, oh, I'm just gonna sip on a shot of whiskey for 2 hours. That ain't happening. I'm going to get the bottle. If I go to the bar, I'm gonna want the bottle. I'm not gonna want a shot or two. I'm gonna leave that motherfucker broke if I got money in my pocket because I'm drinking everything at the bar. That's just me. I'm just saying. So
let me ask you something for inspiration for people. What is the greatest absolute greatest moment that you've had since you stopped drinking?
Boom.
That made it that you said to yourself, this shit would have never been like this if I was drunk. Like what's been your greatest moment? Because I want people to hear that there is great
Hmm.
moments in this shit and you can have some too.
Uh, Seeing my kids for the first time not drunk. When I say seeing them for the first time, I don't mean the first time I ever seen them. I mean actually talking to them and communicating with them, not drunk, because they only really they know me either getting up in the morning hungover or knew me, I should say, hungover or with a drink in my fucking hand, and seeing them and talking to them and just being interested. Shit, I'm about to fucking cry. Being interested in what they do, what they say, how they handle things, how they deal with things. Uh, that's probably the most beautiful thing. That and my extended family, my friends. You know, being around friends and being clear minded and really understanding conversations with them and being able to hold these conversations that have meaning. And the conversations that I have with people now have meaning to me. I told someone today that when I speak, I've always spoke uh, very confidently and articulated myself very confidently, but I know nowadays I speak with fucking purpose. I don't let jibber jabber just fly out of my mouth. I speak with fucking purpose. So those to me are probably the most beautiful things that I've experienced since I've quit drinking.
That's dope, man. That's dope. It's
Yeah,
never too late. You can always have
yeah,
that.
it's never too
You can
late.
always have that moment. A lot. I've heard a lot of people say, "Man, it's too late for me. It's too late. I did this. I
No
did
such
that.
thing.
People hate me."
No such thing. Mike Tyson's getting ready to fight. No such thing is never too late.
Yeah,
Or you know
man.
what I'm saying, or it's too late. You know what I'm saying?
I,
But because of that,
I
it
wa-
is too late now. We at the end of the show.
we're at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to commend the person that this show was about.
Yeah.
Because she had the strength to be vulnerable and to be transparent on the internet where thousands of people are watching her, and she was able
Mm.
to speak her truth. And whether it was for her to help someone else or whether it was for her to help herself, it was a beautiful thing. Final comment from Lyrical Master. He said, "For me, stopping drinking, I've been better with all my relationships, but when I was drinking, I was destroying relationships without even realizing it." And yeah,
Fuck. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, you destroy other people, and we didn't talk about that because this show was about the actual person, the actual artist being sober, being drunk, and having to
Oh,
deal
we
with
touched that. We touched that. We did
having
touch that.
having to deal with the opposite. We definitely got to it today's topic. Um, it was a good show, man.
Yeah,
It
I
was a good
believe.
show.
I
I'm
believe
really
they're all
grateful for
good.
this topic
Yeah.
and grateful for this post because we needed this. I needed this. You needed it. We all need this shit. Everyone watching needs this in one form of or another of what we said.
Okay, and as we do, we have last words. Jizzle, last words.
Last words for somebody that's dealing with that, being on stage and being sober now and having to deal with it, is just remember how of a dope artist you are. Remember how you feel when you write things and how great they are, and take those same feelings with you and take them on stage. And remember that you are the shit, that you do what you do, and also that you'll never make anyone happy. You'll never make everyone happy, so just live your life, do what it is, dress how you dress, wear whatever color it is, show off your energy on stage. Just be you 100%. That's my final words. Jizzle for Shizzle on Instagram, Jizzle Productions on YouTube. Holler at us.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback with on what you just said with my last words, and that is on the stage of life. Don't worry about it. Be easy on yourself. Things will get better. Things take time. Take your time. And something I'm learning right now: be patient. Be patient. And with that, we'll see you next Sunday. The check in. Shy City Cypher, Trash Tales, Whoop De Whoop, not on Sunday, but on Saturday, and Unwrap the podcast. And we got other things coming up in the works as well. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, man. Peace, be safe, and take care of yourself.